welcome back to my channel. Well, I'm here with the 5th video, I believe, of my fall fragrance content, you guys. I'm here with the affordable fall fragrances in my collection. Most of them I would call affordable gems, and all of them are affordable, but that does not mean the quality is low. I have a mix of designers, celebrity, and Middle Eastern fragrances to share with you guys. If you want to see what they are, just keep watching. Before we get started with this video, you guys, please take a second to smash that subscribe button. If you haven't already, ring that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. So let's jump right into these affordable fall fragrances. So you guys, I'm going to start with an amazing celebrity fragrance that I stumbled upon a few months ago. Oh my goodness, I found this in the summertime. It was not the best time to wear it, but I was so excited that I actually wore it a few times, even in the hot months when I bought this. But I could not wait for fall to come around to wear this fragrance, because this is such a gorgeous fragrance that would work so well in the fall. And I gotta say, it was quite the pleasant surprise, you guys. I did not expect this fragrance to be this good. It's none other than M by Mariah Carey. You guys, as you can see, the bottle is very kind of juvenile to me with the butterfly. It's, you know, plastic, and you look at the bottle and you hear Mariah Carey. No offense to Mariah Carey, but you don't really think of a very serious fragrance when you see a bottle like this or hear a celebrity name. But I must say, you guys, this thing, oh, it is so sexy. It's a sexy fragrance. It's the kind of fragrance that would make someone go, who is she? It's quite like ambery. It's got white florals in it. It's sweet. It's quite feminine. Contrary to the bottle, you guys, this fragrance doesn't smell girly. Rather, it smells like a woman, a grown-up, sexy woman. It's what surprised me the most. Don't judge the book by the cover. You know, I would have never ever bought this if I saw it anywhere. You know, the only reason I bought it was because of the good reviews I read online about it. It's a very sexy ambery fragrance with white florals. It's sweet. It's got all the feminine vibes. It's a little bit smoky, making it really like mysterious and sexy. You know, there's a smokiness in here from incense, I believe, and it's also very balsamic. There are some spices in here, and it's not too heavy yet. Like, you heard all of the accords, they sound pretty, you know, dense, but you know what, it's not heavy, like not super thick, super dense, because there's marine accord in here that makes it lighter, adds that sort of freshness to it at the same time, you know, to kind of counterbalance that smokiness, the sweetness, the amber. It's also a little bit powdery. It's got patchouli. It's got a little bit of woodiness. You guys, this opens with the weirdest notes. It opens with a gorgeous gourmand notes that we all love. Women love, especially this note, marshmallow. It's very, you know, kind of feminine and delicious, kind of a soft gourmand note. And then with that, you get sea notes, like the sea, you know, the fresh kind of marine kind of vibes that gives it a marine accord. That's like the weirdest opening, but it's so beautiful. And in the middle, you get the most gorgeous white florals. There's gardenia and tiare flower. And I believe there are a bunch more florals in here that they haven't revealed. And in the base, you get that gorgeous incense, patchouli, and amber, you guys. It is really a gorgeous, sexy fragrance. I love the incense in here. That's what gives it that beautiful smokiness. But the seawater in the opening and the soft gourmand marshmallow, those kind of keep it from being too dense, too thick, you know. It is so worth the price, and it lasts and it projects really well for a fragrance this affordable. This is M by Mariah Carey. So next I have a fragrance I usually look forward to fall to wear. This one is very affordable, but one of the most delicious gourmet fragrances I've ever smelled. And this has got amazing projection, amazing sillage, last forever. This is from a great Middle Eastern fragrance house, you guys. This fragrance house makes some of the best affordable Oriental fragrances. This is none other than Casablanca by Swiss Arabian. I know that a lot of people talk about wearing this in the summertime and the warmer months. Guys, not for me. This fragrance is a little bit denser, a heavier gourmet fragrance. Yes, there's an apple note in the opening. Briefly, I know apple is crisp, is a juicy, crisp, fruity note. But you guys, this has caramel and all that in the middle or base. It's quite dense. I'm not going to even spray this because this is a very dense, very strong fragrance with great projection and sillage. Like I said, this is not a fragrance, in my opinion, for the warmer months at all. It's fruity, it's caramelly, it's sweet, it's woody, it's got amber in it, it's balsamic, it's powdery, it's got musk in it. It is not, to me, a fragrance for any other time but fall time. You can wear this in the winter too, but this is something that I like to start wearing late summer when the weather starts to get cooler. This is a nice, juicy, fruity opening. There's grapes and a crisp apple note. And then in the middle, you get some woody notes with iris and patchouli. Patchouli, like I said, patchouli is in the middle. This one is a beast. This is what you call a beast mode fragrance. This one falls in that category. Great projection, sillage, lasting power, because of the fact that patchouli is in the middle. And you guys, this has an amazing suede note in the base. I've come to really love and appreciate suede leather in fragrances. They give fragrances such a dimension, depth, and make them smell like kind of sophisticated, expensive. So this one, like I said, has a huge, massive dose of caramel in the base. There's a massive dose of amber. There's suede in the base. There's musk and there's pure balsam. Like I said, this is also very balsamic too. This is, I would say, a fragrance made for fall. This is a delicious fragrance. The caramel really comes through and you can smell that leather cord from the suede note in here, but although it's not very strong, like it's not too dominant. The dominant accord, if you ask me, in here really are the fruitiness and the caramel and the sweetness. Caramel is quite prominent in here. This is a fall must-have for me. This is Casablanca by Swiss Arabian. So next I have another caramelly fragrance. This is very much a caramel gourmet for the fall time. This is quite affordable. I gotta say the bottles are kind of juvenile, but I really still like them. You probably guess what I'm talking about. This is Juicy Couture Gold Couture, you guys. I mean, the only thing I don't like, I think, is the bottle. I really don't care for this juvenile kind of frilly bow thing. It's just not the most attractive bottle, but I gotta say, this is a beautiful scent. This is a beautiful scent. You can smell the caramel very, very well. It is gorgeous. It's very feminine. It's a gourmet that smells like caramel. Perfect for the fall time. The only problem is the performance. It's not the best, but it's better than some of the other Juicy Couture fragrances. This one is on the better side. I would say I get about 3 hours with this one-ish, but on my clothes it lasts longer. It's not the best when it comes to performance, but it's not also the worst. That delicious caramel in here, you guys, is so, so good. I don't mind respraying this because it is a beautiful scent. It's got a, like I said, a huge, massive dose of caramel. There's a massive dose of vanilla. It's very sweet. It's fruity. It's balsamic. It's got amber. There are some white florals in it. It's a gorgeous feminine scent. What can I say? I mean, it's as feminine as it gets. So it opens with a bunch of berries, like wild berries in the opening, kind of a juicy opening. It's kind of like a fresh, juicy burst in the opening from the berry notes. In the middle, you get a couple of really gorgeous white florals. There's honeysuckle and jasmine, which is super feminine. Honeysuckle is a gorgeous, gorgeous white floral, you guys. It's really beautiful when mixed with gourmand notes, especially gourmand notes like caramel. You can really smell the caramel and the white florals in this fragrance. To me, the juicy opening from the fruity notes, I can smell like the fruity notes, the berries in the opening with the juicy fresh burst. But then I smell the most the white florals and the caramel. So in the base you get that massive dose of caramel and a massive dose of vanilla. There's sandalwood for that sensual touch, and there's amber. It's really a very much a tried and true feminine gourmand with like that kind of composition that you can't really go wrong with. I would say it's a safe blind buy. This is Juicy Couture Gold Couture. Next I have a delicious spicy gourmand that's super warm and super spicy and super sweet. Like it's uber sweet, very sweet fragrance, but it's got delicious gourmand notes in it as well. This is Yes I Am by Cacharel, you guys. I mean, does it get any more feminine than this? Look at the bottle. It's a lipstick, you know, it's a lipstick bullet. It's gorgeous. Let me spray it to refresh my memory. Yeah, this is quite a beautiful, slightly spicy gourmand, like sweet, sort of lactonic fragrance. Like I said, it's a very warm, spicy fragrance, you guys. There are some spices in here, warm and soft spices. It's very sweet. It's got caramel in it, and it's lactonic. It's kind of milky. It's fruity, it's ambery, it's balsamic. It's a beautiful scent. And it has like a fresh sort of fruity opening with a lot of citruses and raspberry. In the middle, you get a bunch of florals like gardenia, jasmine, orange blossom, rose with a ginger note, which is always amazing when there's ginger in fragrances. As you guys know, gives it that zing, you know, kind of juicy zing. And then there's amber in the middle, so there's a lot of amber in this fragrance. So in the base there's milk, you guys. Like I said, it's a milky, warm, spicy, caramelly fragrance. It's really good. The milk is mixed in with the caramel and the vanilla and the benzoin in the base. It's really good. And then there are a bunch of warm and soft spices like cardamom and coumarin. And then there's licorice, there's amberwood, there's sandalwood. It smells quite interesting and different because the spices with the milk and the gourmand notes in the base smells quite nice and unique. It smells like a warm cup of milk with, you know, caramel syrup and warm spices in it, like cardamom, like spices in it, kind of like a chai, you know. It's kind of like how it smells. This is Yes I Am by Cacharel. Next I have a fragrance that I recently acquired. This is an affordable fragrance, and it's a very dark cherry fragrance. You guys know I love to add cherry fragrances to my collection because I'm a huge fan of the cherry note in fragrances. So I like cherry fragrances in fall and winter, but not all the gourmands. Like some other gourmands like praline and stuff, those kinds of notes I only like to wear in the fall time. This one is Deux by Afnan. This is a very dark cherry fragrance. Smells quite nice. It's obviously going to be very sweet and fruity and cherry. There are also some warm spices in here, and there's a chocolate accordion here from the chocolate note, and then there's vanilla and patchouli. So this opens with that gorgeous cherry with strawberry and raspberry and chocolate, dark chocolate in the opening. So it's that dark chocolate is very dark and heavy and dense, but the fruity notes kind of counterbalance it in the opening. So right off the bat, you can smell that gourmand you know, dark chocolate with the cherry, but then you get the freshness from the berries. So in the middle you get a bunch of spices and a big dose of vanilla. So because it's in the middle, the vanilla is pretty prominent. And then in the base you get white musk, patchouli and gardenia, lighter base than what you would expect. Yeah, it's kind of a weird fragrance structure. You see some of the base notes being on the top and top notes being on the base. Usually, should say, usually what you see in the base, you're seeing in the top and vice versa. Yeah, it's a gorgeous fragrance. I haven't had a chance to wear it around too much, but I love the way it smells. It's a beautiful cherry fragrance for fall. This is Deux by Afnan. Next, I have a delicious, edible, almost gourmand that I actually forgot to include in my top fall designer fragrances video. This one should have been in that video. This one smells so good. It's very almost edible kind of gourmand. This one is Givenchy Live Irresistible Delicieuse. You guys, this one has some amazing, gorgeous, edible kind of gourmand notes. This is actually also a cherry smelling fragrance because there's a pretty big cherry accord in here. It's a very kind of sweet, nutty, almondy cherry fragrance right off the bat. It's very caramelly from the gourmand notes. It's got vanilla. It's, you know, like I said, it's also nutty. So it opens with that delicious cherry note and French pastries note, you guys. In the opening, it smells like a gorgeous cherry Danish, you know, almost. That's kind of how it smells. The pastries note make it so like edible. The cherry you can smell very prominently in the opening especially. And you get some floral notes in the middle like rose and orange blossom, and in the base you get a bunch of gourmand notes too. So in the base you get a huge dose of caramel and vanilla with bitter almonds, and then there is an orris note giving it a bit of a powdery touch. That opening is the king in this fragrance. I don't smell the middle at all. I don't smell the florals in this fragrance, I should say. The opening and the base kind of seem to dominate this fragrance, especially the opening with the French pastries and the cherry. You really can smell them, and then you can smell the caramel in the base and the vanilla very much. That's really what I smell the most. It's very much a through and through gourmand fragrance, you guys. It's a very much a cherry Danish smelling fragrance, great for the fall time. This is Givenchy Live Irresistible Delicieuse. Next, I have another amazing fragrance that I really think is a really good value for the money. It's quite affordable. This is a fragrance that has some interesting notes like cherry, for example. This is Dark Cherry and Amber by Banana Republic. So this one, you guys, this one opens with that cherry note, and there's almond in the opening. I can smell the almond super well. It's a very cherry, almondy, nutty, sort of ambery kind of fragrance right off the bat. There is cherry in the opening for sure, and there's freesia. Those are the only revealed notes, but I know this has almond in the opening. There is almond in the opening. I can promise you that. There's almond in the opening. There's cherry almond. The cherry almond combo is what I get the most. And in the middle, you get a big dose of praline with cherry blossom. And in the base, you get amber and cedar. So as this fragrance dries down, it dries down like an amber fragrance. You can smell the amber in the dry down with the woodiness. This one also has a bit of a Baccarat Rouge vibe too. It's kind of weird. There's gotta be maybe saffron or something in this fragrance that's giving this like a little bit of a Baccarat Rouge vibe too on the side. But it's mainly when you spray it, you can smell the almond, you can smell the cherry, and then you can smell the gourmand like praline note and all that. And in the base, it really dries down like an amber fragrance. This is Dark Cherry and Amber by Banana Republic. So next I have two fragrances from MAC, you guys. These I think have been discontinued. At least one of these I know is discontinued, but the other one may still be not discontinued. or soon will be discontinued. I don't know, but the first one is a gourmand. I like to wear this in the fall time. This one is Crème D'Nude by MAC. This one, you guys, is a very sexy gourmand fragrance. Let me spray it. This smells very woman-like, very sort of sexy. This is a musky, caramelly, sort of vanilla, sweet, leathery, floral kind of fragrance. So it opens with neroli and I'm sure some other florals. It's kind of a light opening, maybe citruses and neroli, or neroli and other florals. And in the middle you get a big dose of caramel with a suede note. You know, suede is super sexy. Suede makes women's fragrances smell sexy. And then there's musk in the middle too, making it even more sexy and edgy. It's a very much kind of an edgy, kind of fashionable, sort of sexy fragrance. Sexy in a fashionable way, you know what I mean? And then in the base you get vanilla and muskmallow or amberette. Really good for fall because it's got that caramel. You can wear this other times of the year, but I would say wear it at nighttime. This is MAC Crème D'Nude. Then I have another MAC fragrance. This one has been discontinued. This one is the cherry fragrance in this collection, in the same collection. This is Lady Danger by MAC. It is very strongly cherry fragrance, and this is not a safe blind buy, by the way. This is a very strong cherry, warm, spicy kind of fragrance. Now, I am a huge lover of cherry fragrances, you guys. You know I love cherry. But it's a very like warm, spicy cherry fragrance with a lot of patchouli in it. It's got that, the patchouli though with the sweetness in this fragrance is really beautiful. It smells almost like gourmand, you know, mixed in with the cherry note in here and the warm spices. I really think it's beautiful with the cherry with the warm spices and the patchouli. It's also quite ambery, it's woody and it's sweet. It's balsamic and it's a little nutty. This has got some strange notes, you guys. It opens with cherry and tangerine, and in the middle you get black amber, tiger lily and jasmine. So that black amber really, it's this sort of mysterious quality. It's hard to describe. Black amber also comes from sperm whales, just like ambergris, you guys. I smell something that's adding a different dimension that I can't quite put my finger on. That must be the black amber. And in the base you get saffron and patchouli. So saffron is like that, you know, like what saffron smells like. The best example is Baccarat Rouge 540 in the opening. Saffron, that's what saffron smells like. So it's got like a very kind of an unisex vibe, you know. It's a really beautiful cherry fragrance. The cherry is very prominent in here. This is Lady Danger by MAC. So next I have a fragrance that's a dupe for a beautiful Maison Lancôme fragrance that we all know. It's a dupe for the Maison Lancôme Oud Bouquet. You know which one I'm talking about already. This is from a well-known Middle Eastern fragrance house. This is Chagav Oud by Swiss Arabian. This one is a rose oud, a very jammy rose oud fragrance, just like Oud Bouquet. I think it smells quite close to Oud Bouquet. Yes, you can tell the difference. Yes, it's not exactly like Oud Bouquet, but I think it's a pretty darn close dupe for Oud Bouquet for those who can't afford it. The oud in here is quite strong and prominent. Some people say that it smells scratchy to the noses, so keep that in mind. I think the oud in here is not as refined as the oud in the Maison Lancôme Oud Bouquet, obviously. This is probably the best dupe you have out there. It's obviously a very sweet oud, rose, woody, vanilla, slightly lactonic from that praline. It opens with saffron. It has rose and oud in the middle, and then you get oud again in the base with praline and vanilla. It's very similar to the fragrance structure of Oud Bouquet. The double dose of oud, quite prominent. Like I said, the praline is really making it smell jammy. Yeah, it's quite a close dupe, and it's really good for fall season, you guys, just like Oud Bouquet. I only wear Oud Bouquet in the fall, really. So this is Chagav Food by Swiss Arabian. Next I have another sweet cherry fragrance. You guys, I can't get enough of these cherry fragrances, I'm telling you. So this one is again something I just bought recently. This is by the house of Lolita Lempicka. This is so sweet. This one, like I said, a very sweet, super toothache sweet cherry fragrance. So if you're not into sweet or not into cherry, don't bother with this one. Like I said, it's like uber super sweet, very fruity, very cherry, woody, ambery, musky, powdery fragrance. It opens with cherry, raspberry, and citrus notes, you guys. And in the middle you get rose, iris, and angelica. Angelica is that weird sort of rooty, musky fragrance note that you get in Angelique Noir of Guerlain. And in the base you get cashmere and amberwood and musk. Let me spray this a little bit to get a better whiff of it. Yeah, you don't smell the cherry like a punch in the face. It's more sweet than it is cherry. But you can smell the cherry and you can smell the florals, the powderiness, and you definitely get the muskiness. It's not that serious of a fragrance. It's not too dense, too heavy. I haven't worn it enough to tell you what the performance is like, but just from spraying it a couple of times on myself, I just bought it. It doesn't seem like it's going to last very long or have great projection or sillage. But I'll test it and let you know. This is So Sweet by Lolita Lempicka. Next I have a gorgeous rose fragrance by Nina Ricci, you guys. This is Lestas Rose Absolute by Nina Ricci. This one smells quite sexy, you guys. I was pleasantly surprised when I got this fragrance. It's very much a rose, a dark rose fragrance, just like the bottle suggests. By the way, the nose behind this fragrance is MFK, Maison Francis Christian. And some people say this smells like Oud Satin Mood. This resembles it, but I wouldn't say it's a dupe. But it's not a surprise. I mean, it's by the same nose. So obviously there may be some, you know, similarities between the two. I get the resemblance, but I wouldn't call it a dupe. There's no dupes for Oud Satin Mood, you guys. That thing is the most gorgeous rose oud. So beautiful. And I don't think this has oud, by the way. This one has other woody notes, but not oud. It's got quite the spicy opening with black pepper and pink pepper. Pink pepper is a very bright sort of soft spicy note, whereas black pepper's got that sort of, you know, punch, like the zing. And then in the middle you get Taif rose, and then you get some woody notes. And in the base you get a massive dose of vanilla. So I think the similarity people are smelling here is the mix between the vanilla and the rose. Again, this is a different kind of rose that's in here, and also this one doesn't have oud. It doesn't smell like it has oud. They're different, you guys, but I get a little bit of a resemblance, yes. So in the base, it's not just vanilla, by the way. It's like it's a massive dose of vanilla that you get, because there's vanilla and benzoin, and then there's patchouli and there's musk. It is a very beautiful, feminine, gorgeous, dark rose fragrance that I like to wear in the fall time. And this one is good for winter as well, by the way. And it's also really good for summer nights if you want to wear it. It is a fragrance you can pull off throughout the year if you wear it at night time during the warmer months. This is Lestas Rose Absolute by Nina Ricci. Next I have a very thick, syrupy, dense, vanilla smelling fragrance. This one is from actually the men's section of Zara. It's a Zara fragrance. I did talk about this as an honorable mention in my vanilla fragrance video. I'll link that up here and down in the description box. This is Rich Warm Addictive by Zara, and I heard one of my subscribers told me that this has been reformulated and the new version has peony in it. I couldn't tell what that would smell like. Would it smell similar to this or not? I don't know. I would have to get my nose on it. But this one, the old version, this one is definitely got a huge vanilla accord, but there's no vanilla note listed in the fragrance composition, at least not revealed. It's a very much like a sweet, syrupy, honey, tobacco, vanilla, woody, sort of lactonic fragrance, you know. There's honey, there's tobacco, there's coconut apparently, there is sandalwood and other woody notes. But I'm telling you guys, this one is quite dense. There's like a thick, syrupy honey dose in here. But also this has vanilla, although they have not revealed it. Some form of vanilla, whether it's just benzoin, whether it's vanilla, or whether it's tonka bean. I don't think it's tonka bean, however. I don't think. Anyway, it's hard to tell. It smells like vanilla. There's something that smells like vanilla that's in here. It's very like a warm fragrance. There are some warm spices in here, obviously, as well. It is quite the addictive smelling fragrance. Rich, warm, addictive is really a good description for it. Yeah, this is Rich, Warm, Addictive by Zara. So next I have another celebrity fragrance. This is by Sopia Vergara. Love by Sopia Vergara. This one has coffee in it, I believe, Colombian coffee, I believe. This smells quite good for a celebrity fragrance. It's very sweet, florally, kind of vanilla, coffee, fruity, warm, spicy fragrance with a little bit of citrus and a little bit of a lactonic quality from the praline in the base. This opens with a bunch of really fresh, juicy notes like citruses, like mandarin orange, you know, that kind of citruses. There's passion fruit in the opening, which is a gorgeous, juicy, tropical fruit. And then there is also orange blossom in the opening. And in the middle, you get magnolia, coffee blossom, which is quite interesting, orchid, and Colombian coffee. And there's praline and vanilla in the base, which makes this a gourmet. You know, it smells like a gourmet fragrance, but only with like floral notes. It's not as thick and dense as most gourmets, but it is nonetheless, it's got gourmet notes in it. And then you got also amberette and amberwood in the base as well. It is a beautiful fragrance. The performance is not bad in this fragrance. And also I love Sopia by Sopia, which is a fragrance I prefer to wear in the warmer months. This one is something you can pull off all year round. Even though it has gourmet notes, it's not very thick or dense. Somehow you can wear this summer nights or as the weather gets colder towards the end of summer. It is a nice fragrance. I do really love the way it smells. I think you can wear it all year round if you want to, but this is a nice gourmet fragrance for the fall. This is Love by Sopia Vergara. Next I have another very heavy, very thick rose gourmet fragrance from a Middle Eastern fragrance house. This is really beautiful, and this one is a beast, you guys. I mean, a beast. It lasts and lasts and lasts, and it projects well. It's got a great sillage. This is Oud Wardy. You guys, this one is a rose fragrance. I don't feel like spraying this. Is quite strong. This is a rose fragrance. You can smell the rose so strongly, but this has got some gourmet notes. It's a very sweet, fruity rose that has like a big dose of vanilla. There's maybe a little bit of lactonic quality in it from the praline. It's a little bit earthy, it's woody, it's got floral notes like white florals and other florals as well. It actually has a nice sort of juicy opening with the blackcurrant and the pear. And then you also get the massive rose note in the opening with the orange blossom. And in the middle, you get that big dose of praline. It's right in the middle, so you can smell that sweet praline. You can smell the praline with the other florals like jasmine and iris that this one has in the middle. And in the base you get tonka bean and vanilla, so it's got a pretty big vanilla accord, and it has patchouli. It's a beautiful rose gourmet fragrance. Like I said, it's a little bit powdery too, and it lasts forever. It smells like a very like feminine rose with some edible qualities, you know. You probably only want to wear this in the colder months, you guys, because it is a beast. You do not want to wear this on a hot summer day, let me tell you that much. This is Oud Wardy. So you guys, those are all the great affordable fragrances that I'm wearing this fall. I've had, I think, 15 or something. Yeah, I have more, but these are the ones that I really love. Please let me know what affordable fall fragrances you're wearing this fall. Yeah, just chime down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, you guys, on these fragrances that I shared with you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ring that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss my videos. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, you guys. I will see you in my next video.